everybody. What is going on? Welcome to the Almost Awesome Show, episode 18 on the week of September 10th, or the day of September 10th, whatever. But I would like to say welcome to the two people that aren't watching the D23 Expo and decided to come watch this. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hopefully it ends soon so more people will come on in here and watch my show. Maybe I'll get all their leftovers. I'll take it. I'm good with it. But it wouldn't just be me. I'm not the only one here today to talk about some of this later in the week's news. I am also joined by Nick from the Pleasure Emporium. How you doing, Nick?
I'm awesome. I just recently been grinding with Mega the Stallion. You know, it's good times.
Grinding. All right. Hey.
Yeah. Booty dancing. You know how this works.
Booty dancing and grinding with a stallion. I hear you.
I know.
There's worse
ways. To be up with the kids.
Worse ways to spend an afternoon, I guess.
Yep.
But what else you got? I mean, you got anything special going over there at your channel? I see you have a video recently that's doing fairly well.
I mean, usual. The Pleasure Emporium definitely has its ins and outs of videos that do well, and sometimes sometimes you get ripped for your pleasure. Sometimes you get yelled at, and then you tell them to go F themselves. You know how it is. It's a world of pleasure, my friend, in an emporium.
Oh, yeah, the world of pleasure over at YouTube and the Pleasure Emporium. Well,
yep.
Hopefully we got some pleasure for you guys today, some cool stories for the latter part of this week to talk about. And we're also going to talk about, not quite live, but pretty damn close to it, everything that's been going on at D23, including the Star Wars, Marvel, and what was it? Star Wars, Marvel, and what was the other part of it?
20th Studios or whatever they call themselves.
Which is probably nothing. But all the stuff that they are announcing literally right now, that I think it's supposed to be coming to a close, we're going to be talking about here. Or at least not all of it, but some of it at least. Some of it. There's a lot of stuff, whether it's good or not. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes. That's actually, like I said, going on at this moment, and Nick has been nice enough to be keeping an eye on that because I've been busy doing this. Has that panel or show or whatever ended as of yet, Nick, or is it still ongoing?
No, it's still going. It's almost done. They said nothing about Fantastic Four today, so I'm assuming it's over now, I guess.
Yeah, unless that's going to be like the one more thing at the end of the show. One more thing before we go. Stretchy Man and Invisible Woman. We'll see. But I don't think they haven't even shot anything of that movie yet, have they?
No, they haven't released the cast, so I'm assuming they haven't, filmed.
Yeah, I mean, they've released the release date, so I don't know what else they could do, but whatever. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, give it time to end, but not real quick, I usually say real quick, I always say real quick, but it's usually like 30 minutes. We have a few smaller stories of the week, so let's go ahead and jump into this week's news bits, our smaller stories of the week that don't quite deserve their own full-fledged story, but they still deserve to be talked about. We don't want to forget about them. And I wanted to jump in to there's nothing like big going on here because I think everybody's been holding stuff back because of D23, which is going on right now. And we're going to talk about that. But there are a few little things, and some of this actually may bleed over from D23, honestly, or right before it, rather. And it's not totally all Disney, but there is quite a bit of Disney-esque stuff because, they own everything in the world. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was really a comment from our friend Eric Kripke over there at The Boys.
Oh, what is Eric Kripke saying?
Oh, yeah. That is really what he said is why I wanted to talk about it real quick. And this is in relation to the young woman, I cannot remember her name, who plays Starfire. Not Starfire. What is her name? Starlight. Yeah. I guess the main female character. I've just started season 3, so I haven't seen season 3, so let's not spoil anything there when we get to talking about this. But she plays this character at least up until season 3. I'm assuming she makes it. I don't know. But online, I guess she was getting some hate, and people were throwing some unpleasant comments her way about, I don't know specifically what, but they weren't nice, and they were being very toxic, as you will, as fans can be toxic fanboys. Well,
imagine that.
Eric Kripke, put out a tweet or a message to all the fans or the toxic fans, and he said, "Eat a bag of dicks and fuck off to the sun." And I love it. I just love him for that. You know, he made Supernatural, which I loved that show, and then he made The Boys. I really enjoy that show. So, you know what? I love his tact. I love that other people in the business always want to put out some PR statement, and the creator of this extremely, I mean, I guess people consider The Boys to be pretty raunchy. He just said, "Hey, eat a bag of dicks and fuck off to the sun," to the toxic fans. And I can get behind that, yes. And I think, Nick, you were telling me earlier you had a issue with someone on, we'll call, I'm not going to say a fan, but a toxic individual on one of your videos, and you pretty much told them kind of the same thing. So it's nice to see when they get on our level and they just put it out there really real. So just, slow clap for Eric Kripke. Eat a bag of dicks and fuck off to the sun. In other words, don't fuck around with the boys, people, because Eric Kripke is going to come for you. All right, so beyond that, the little bit of video game news, there's actually two little video game things to talk about. This one's a little bit not as good news as some other things, but I think there's a silver lining to it all. Xbox or Microsoft, whoever, has halted Stalker 2 pre-orders and has been offering refunds. Now, this has sent some people into a frenzy saying, "Oh no, Stalker 2," which is a game that's a sequel, obviously, with the 2, that's coming for the Series consoles and PC. It was supposed to come out this year, but the developer lives, or is, or was, at least at the time, stationed in the Ukraine. A little something happened over there, so they had to delay it. They may have moved by this point. I'm not sure, but the game was delayed due to that. I think everybody could understand that whole situation. Okay, nobody's mad about it. But now they're halting. It doesn't say they've canceled, like they've halted Stalker 2 pre-orders, and they're offering refunds to people that are unhappy with that. And some people are saying, "Oh no, the game's been canceled." But no, what I'm gathering is it hasn't been canceled. They just don't know exactly when it's coming out because, these people are in a war zone. So they got bigger things going on right now, so they're having to tend to those things and not a video game at the moment. So I think Xbox is just saying, we don't want to, hold this pre-order when we don't even know when the hell the game's coming out right now. So, hey, here, if you want to keep the pre-order, you can. But if you don't, Here's your money back. We understand, and we'll update you later on. What do you think of this? I mean, what's your take there?
It's a shame that they have to do this, but it is a thing that is going to happen, unfortunately, because some countries feel like lying about certain things and trying to invade other countries on falsities. So I feel bad. I hope the studio behind Stalker 2 get that game made eventually, but I understand their plight right now. So.
Oh yeah. Well, it was pretty far along from what it seemed. I mean, it was supposed to come out this year, so I mean, it was pretty far along, it would seem. So I think whenever they're able to get back to working on it, we'll probably get it fairly quickly whenever it comes. But honestly, me myself, I'm like, take your time. You guys got real shit going on. Some shit I can't even imagine. You're in the middle of a fucking war. Hey, you do, I ain't worried about this game. There's plenty of other games to play. The game looked really cool. Take your fucking time. Don't be worrying about that game, which I don't think they are. I think they're like, hey, gunfire, bombs, stuff like that. You'll get Stalker later on. All right, so after that, let's shift back to movies for just a moment. And let's talk about Ana de Armas. I think I said that name wrong. That's how I've always, or right. That's how I've always said it.
I'm like Homer, and when he finds some food, he's like, that's me with Ana de Armas.
Yeah, I'm going to say Ana de Armas. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I've heard it pronounced about 20 different ways, but
Ana de Armas. Yeah.
Good. I'm as far as Nick's concerned, I'm right. So that is the gospel. Well, she said, and for those of you that don't know, she is playing Marilyn Monroe in the new movie. What is the movie called? Blonde? It's
called Blonde.
Yeah.
NC-17 Blonde. Yes.
Yeah, the Netflix movie Blonde, which is notoriously rated NC-17 now, and for some strong sexual graphic content, and apparently it has some POV vagina shots and stuff like that. And so this movie's going to be raw. But either way, it just premiered and all that, so there's lots of talk about it right now. Well, Ana de Armas said she felt Marilyn Monroe's ghost while making the movie. She felt it. All I can think was, nah, Anna, that wasn't what you was feeling. You was feeling something else.
Yeah, is that when like the POV shot comes? You see Marilyn Monroe's ghost coming out of the vagina.
Yeah, you was feeling something, but it wasn't that. But no, but it wasn't just her. Honestly, it was the rest of the crew saying that. I just thought that was funny how she said she felt it, and as soon as she said I felt Marilyn Monroe's ghost, I was like, you felt something. But the movie is supposed to be good, according to what people are saying. The early buzz. And everybody there was saying we felt like Marilyn's ghost was with us and was happy we were doing this. I'm sure Marilyn Monroe was happy that you were making an NC-17 movie about her life. I bet. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll see the movie and be like, yeah, I bet she was happy with that. Maybe not. But yeah, if you're interested in Blonde, the NC-17 Marilyn Monroe movie with POV vagina shots, which how could you not be? But if you are, well, just know that while they were making it, Marilyn Monroe's ghost may or may not have been with them. Okie doke, let's jump right back into a little bit of video game news again. And I do think that this was bleed over from D23. Could be wrong. This is a Marvel property. But Marvel's Midnight Suns, this is more informational, by the way. Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is a game, is now coming out December 2nd, 2002. Yay. I mean, okay. This is a game that got delayed earlier this year to 2023. Apparently now, the news is that now, oh no, it is still coming out this year. I just can't get hyped about this. I mean, I saw the gameplay, and it just looked like, what was that, Marvel's, before Disney owned them, I think.
I heard it was a card game.
Oh, is it a card? Okay, that's even
I don't know.
Better.
I don't know.
It really looks like that Ultimate Alliance game that came out like in the 360 era. Which, if that's your thing, fine. I know a lot of people like those two games, but there's just nothing about this game that's like I'm really happy. But this and the other one, the Batman, where Batman's dead, the Gotham Knights, they both kind of get talked about in the same breath a lot of the time. Even though one's Marvel, one's DC, but I think they're supposed to be similar type of games. I don't really know, but I'm not excited about any of these games. Maybe that's just me. Maybe they'll come out and be great, but they just don't seem like they're really getting... People are talking about them, like the people that work in that industry, but nobody seems really excited about these games. They just seem kind of, okay, there's some superhero games coming out. They just don't look that great, honestly. But, I mean, what do you've seen this stuff. What do you think about I mean, are you excited? Am I wrong?
Nope. No, not at all. That's what I think.
I'm with you. I mean, there's just nothing wow. But if you were looking forward to Marvel's Midnight Suns, good for you. I'm happy that you're finding some joy in something, and you don't have to wait as long. It's coming out December 2nd, 2022 now, so yay you. Not for me, though. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll come out and it'll be great, and I'll check it out. We'll see. All right, speaking of Marvel, Nick, there's somebody out there, a famous person, a famous woman who has said that she wants to do a Marvel movie. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Is it trying to think of famous female directors? No, I have no idea.
It's not a director, it's an actress. Well, a famous woman wants to be in a Marvel movie.
Bernadette Peters.
Nope.
Meryl Hemingway.
Nope. All right, I'll tell you. And then you'll be like,
okay.
Of course, I knew it. It is the one person we've been waiting for to enter the MCU. Kim Kardashian wants to be in a Marvel movie. Aren't you excited? I know I am.
Wait, I got something for that. Hold on.
Do not put that fucking Pac-Man up here. Yeah,
I got something for that.
I'm with you. Yeah. No, sir. I don't like it. In all honesty,
I don't. God, I hope they like push her to the curb. Say, get out of our fucking life.
Well, apparently, and this is some of this is just kind of just rumor and speculation and talk. She's talked to him, and I don't have the full story in front of me, so I could be wrong. I want to say that there have been talks, and they've asked or at least thrown it out there, but she hasn't yet. Now she says something along the lines of, when time's right, that's when something like that happens. I'm not actively trying to, but if I'd be interested in it, and maybe at some point. And some people have pointed out, you read that headline and you're like, oh fuck, but I don't really know that much about the Kardashians. I do not follow them, never have. I know about them like as far as like the pop culture sphere goes. I'm not a fan, but I can't really say that I have anything personally against them. I just don't follow them, and the very, very small amount I've seen about their show and all them, it's just not something for me. It's very Paris Hilton, that whole thing. But some people have said
it's like, I was gonna say, it's like some studio or some show adding somebody by the name of Megan Thee Stallion in there. Oh, that would never happen.
Well, actually, that's what I was getting at. Is some people have mentioned that she could be in one. That does not mean she would be playing an established character within one. She could play herself, because there is a long history of people playing themselves in Marvel movies. I wouldn't say long. There's just like a few of the movies and now shows that have put real life people, such as Elon Musk was in what was it, Iron Man 2, and there's probably been some other people, but and as you mentioned, Megan Thee Stallion was in the She-Hulk. So she could just show up as herself, like in a cameo. I can say, as far as Kim Kardashian being in a Marvel film, at this point, whatever Marvel does, I'm like, yeah, whatever, doesn't surprise me. But let's say she does end up one, that's the best possible way. I mean, for all I know, she's a fantastic actress. I don't know, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say probably not, and say that if she just showed up in that whole Elon Musk cameo from Iron Man 2, I have not seen the Megan Thee Stallion cameo. I've heard about it. Everybody has.
Should you?
It does not sound great. But I can say the Elon Musk one was just that. It was a cameo. He showed up and he was like, oh yeah, we'll talk about this thing later on, and then went on. So it was like, whatever. That didn't really harm the film or the storytelling. If she showed up like that in a movie, I would just, okay, whatever. As long as she doesn't make whoever the main character of said movie twerk, I think we'll be okay.
We got breaking news. Tim Blake Nelson is returning as the leader in Captain America: New World Order. That's all.
Wait, Tim Blake Nelson.
You remember
Tim Blake Nelson,
Incredible Hulk? Yeah, Incredible Hulk.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They're bringing everything back from the Incredible Hulk. It's funny as fuck.
Why? Anyway. Anyway. All right, one more little story here before we get into our big stories for the day. And that is just, once again, much like the other stories in today's news bits, this is some informational stuff just to let everyone know. I want to spread the good word. Get the gospel out there. Avatar is returning to theaters. Before it returns to theaters, the first Avatar is coming back to theaters on... Shit, I didn't write the date down. Do you know the date? It's in 2 weeks.
September 23rd or some shit. I can't remember.
So yeah, there you go. If you're an Avatar fan, or if you're looking forward to the next Avatar movie, you could check it out in theaters. And since they took it off fucking streaming for just this reason, now that's your only way to watch it, unless you own it in a hard copy. But if you're wanting to see Avatar on the big screen again, which it was quite the experience, I ain't gonna lie. Even if you don't like the story of Avatar, the 3D experience of seeing Avatar has still not been matched. I'm hoping it's matched by the next movie, but I have not seen another 3D. I've seen good 3D. I've not seen another 3D movie that I said that elevated that movie. But Avatar absolutely did. That movie was fucking amazing in 3D, and I'm looking forward to going to see it again, and I'm going to go see it in 2 weeks. So if you're interested in Avatar, if you like Avatar, or if you are one of the 5 people in the world that didn't see Avatar in theaters, I guess people have been born since then, go check it out. It's coming back to theaters before Avatar: Way of the Water on December 8th, I think it is, or whatever. Whenever it comes out.
Yeah, something like that.
It's December something, yeah. So before you get that Avatar 2 fix, newness, go get your fix of Avatar 1. And that is it. That's all we got on this week's News Bits, ladies and gents. I know it was a little bit less, but there's not a lot going on earlier in the week until fucking today with D23. Everybody was holding everything back. So if there was anything that we did miss that you wish we had talked about, let us know in the comments below. Also, let us know what you think about Eric Kripke telling fans to eat a bag of dicks and fuck off to the sun. I will say that line every opportunity I get, by the way. Xbox halting pre-orders for Stalker 2. Ana de Armas feeling Marilyn Monroe somewhere. And Marvel's Midnight Suns is now coming out again this year. Kim Kardashian in the Marvel Universe. And Avatar returns again. Let us know in the comments below. Alrighty. So here's the big part of the show, ladies and gents. Let's jump on into our first story, which would be the D23 Expo. The Disney 23, which I don't know, is that the 23? Is that just how many years they've done this, or is that like the year? 'Cause it's actually 2022. I think that's the year.
I think that's the year that Disney was formed. Let me look up. I know there's a reason behind it. I know it's it's a club, but I think it's when Disney was first. When the year Walt Disney founded the company.
Oh, so it's not like last year wasn't D22 and before that D21?
No, it's actually like a fan club, but it just represents when Walt Disney founded the club, or founded the.
Okay, I gotcha. I don't. That shows you how much I pay attention to Disney. Whoops. Okay, but Disney D23, their big E3-esque show of the year, where they unleash all their stuff for the coming year, is technically going on right now. But the biggest moments were today. And has it ended as of yet? Do you know?
No, they're doing nothing outside of that Tim Blake Nelson thing. Nothing's really.
Okay.
If anything comes up, I'll let you know. Yeah, nothing big is happening.
It is more the big show, the stuff about Marvel, Star Wars, and Fox, mainly Marvel and Star Wars, is more or less over at this point. I think the rest of today and Sunday is going to be just panels where they talk about stuff in more detail. Yesterday they had a few things about their video games and a couple of other releases for more Disney animation things. And we're going to talk about that stuff. We're going to highlight a few things. Now, when it comes to yesterday's things, I've got some of that stuff I was going to just mention, and we'll give a brief discussion on it. And when it comes to today's stuff, though, I'm going to have to switch over to Nick because he's been keeping an eye on that, and I have not had an opportunity to see. I've seen some of it, but I haven't been able to see all of it. But starting from yesterday at D23, as far as things that they have announced, we got a Little Mermaid trailer, live-action movie trailer. Yay.
I have a picture for that, too.
Oh, no, I know what you're doing. No, don't do it.
No, not that picture. I'm just going to leave the no, sir, I don't like it picture up there the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Go back to what you were saying.
We got the Little Mermaid trailer, which I'm not going to show here, but we'll talk about that in a minute, I'm sure. We also got an announcement of a movie called Mufasa, The Lion King, or, the Lion King Continues, or I don't know what that. It was just a poster from what I could see. Inside Out 2, which there's some juiciness about that as well. Snow White, apparently we're getting a live action version of that, which I thought we already got, but anyway. There was a game showcase. It was about 30 minutes, and it showed some stuff. I have not seen the game showcase. I've seen some of the stuff from the game showcase. I hear that the game showcase was kind of lackluster and more mobile game focused, but there were a couple of things that they did throw out there. But I know, Nick, you watched that, and we'll get into that. Now, before we jump into today's stuff with the Marvel and the Star Wars and all that, what from yesterday, because you watched this stuff even more in depth than I did, what from yesterday really stood out to you, or what are you, good or bad?
Okay, the bad, why are we getting Inside Out 2? I don't need that. I'm sorry. I love it. Inside Out's like one of the great Pixar movies. I don't understand why we need a sequel, especially when they're lowballing Mindy Kaling and Bill Hader. What the fuck are they thinking? They're
not coming back. That's what I was talking about, the juiciness. Apparently, Amy Poehler is coming back, but those two, at least those two, will not be returning. Which they played anger and sadness? Fear. Okay, yeah, they will not be coming back because they felt as if, due to the parity in pay, apparently it was just too in your face. And I know that Joy is who Amy Poehler was, right?
Yeah, Joy. She was Joy.
Yeah, and she was kind of the main emotion character in the movie, but they were all a big part. And I would get if I don't think the problem is that she's getting paid more. It's that she's getting paid so much more, and they were kind of lowballed. So they're like, "Fuck this, I'm not coming back." So a little bit of juiciness there. I'm with you though. I really liked. Well, I did not see it when it first came out, but you know how I feel about Disney. Inside Out was really fucking good, man. That movie was better than I ever thought it would be. But I do not see any fucking reason that we need a sequel. I mean, who knows? I didn't see a reason why we needed a Toy Story 2 when we see all that turned out. But I'm with you as of right now, though, on Inside Out. Well, Inside Out 2.
I'll be fairly honest with you. Nothing I can remember from yesterday really exceeded my expectations of anything. It felt like, oh, look, we're getting another 5,000 live-action remakes. And you know some of the stuff that Disney is doing looks cool, like I think Elementals or something like that looks cool. But it's just like I don't know. I can't get excited for sometimes. And we're gonna talk about that with Marvel because they actually just announced the Thunderbolts cast, by the way. But we'll talk about that. I guess my main problem with the Disney panel is nothing. This is more of a Marvel problem, but a lot of the Disney properties just don't look that interesting. Like they released the trailer for Disenchantment, Disenchanted, which I like the first one.
The Enchanted was the first one. This is the sequel to that, Disenchanted.
Yeah, and that first one was awesome. I really enjoyed it, but this one looks like shit. Hocus Pocus 2, I think they released a trailer for. Looks like shit. It just
Hocus Pocus 2. Now I'm not a huge Hocus Pocus fan. My wife is really looking forward to that. But I'm not a huge Hocus Pocus fan. Cool. But the movie did not. The trailer, and maybe it needs some work. But the trailer, not today's trailer, but the original trailer, it didn't look good. I mean, it looked cheap. Yeah. And it is going. I think
it comes out the end of this month.
Yeah. Well, it's in October. No. It is. It's this month. It is the end of this month. You're right.
Here's another problem I had. What the fuck is up with a movie about the star that you wish upon?
I was about to say that.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yes. They're
like reaching.
My God. How creatively bankrupt they are at this point. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I saw that. It's called the name of the movie is Wish. And I saw that and I was like, oh, and I look at what it's about and it says it is a movie about how the iconic wishing star came to be. Now, when they say wishing star, they're talking about, at the beginning when it's the Disney thing, it goes, it has the star go do the thing, the crest over the Epcot Center or whatever. Not Epcot, but the castle.
Yeah.
And their logo. That's the wishing star, apparently. This is a movie, a full fucking movie they're making about how the iconic wishing star came to be. Really? What? Did we need that?
No.
It's like, how did Han Solo get his gun? We don't need that. What the fuck is wrong?
Like, the other thing is Barry Jenkins, famous director, won an Oscar clearly for stuff he's done. He's doing I've known about this for a while. They're doing a Mufasa fucking movie that's gonna look like the fucking last Lion King movie. Like, what the fuck? The only thing I actually got
is it gonna be a? Well, that wasn't live action.
It's a prequel.
Oh, so it's like not gonna be an animated one. It's gonna be that type CG.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's even worse. Bad enough. I thought it was going to be animated, and just be a prequel. Oh no.
The only thing I'm excited for is honestly that isn't like this Peter Pan and Wendy looks pretty decent. Is that Haunted Mansion movie because it's being produced by Guillermo del Toro. That's the only thing I have any interest in.
Which is I guess a remake technically because Eddie Murphy made that already.
Well, yeah, I think it's its own. I think they're actually distancing themselves from that, but I don't know. I'm looking at what else. They did a trailer for Strange Worlds, which doesn't look that great.
And we've already seen
Wish. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's nothing from yesterday really blew me away. Now, I do want to talk about real quick that Little Mermaid trailer because I know you loved that. So tell us about what your thoughts on for those of you that haven't seen it. Like I said, I'm not going to show it here, but it's a short little, I guess more or less a teaser trailer. Tell us what you thought about that Little Mermaid trailer, because I can admit I'm not like a ginormous Little Mermaid fan. It's fine, But once again, my wife is. I'll tell you her comments when I showed her the trailer. But what did you think about it?
Real quick, just to let you know, they're still going. They're showing the Marvels. They're going to do an Avatar presentation, just to let you know.
Ooh.
Yeah,
well, that could
so
be cool.
I'll keep you. Yeah, I'll keep you up to date on that. Okay, here's my thoughts. Little Mermaid, one of my favorite anime films of all time. Underneath Aladdin, but one of my favorite. It is that special. You know, it's one of those things you grew up with, and knowing a couple people that worked on the film, it makes it even more special. I'm not.
Wait. You know some people that worked on it. My question is.
No, the original, like the.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Do you know the person who put the dicks in the movie?
No.
If you did,
I've heard stories.
I don't do interviews, but I want to do that.
No, they said they didn't know. It was all marketing people, so yeah, that's not what they do. But...
I want to know who approved the dicks.
But Haley Bailey is, I think it's Holly Bailey or something like that. I have no problems. It's like Rachel Ziegler, I think is going to be at Snow White or something like that. I'd have no problems with her being, wanting to up her cred as an actress, being in something like, you know, a movie by the guy who did Chicago and the Beauty and the Beast or whatever. But I watched this trailer, and the first thing I thought was, well, here we go again. We're ruining our whole entire existence of society and life, and that trailer was just unnerving. It was weird. It was off-putting. It was different. I heard there's gonna be 4 new songs in this movie. The only reason, you know why these movies are getting made, because people keep spending fucking money on this. Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and fucking Lion King are all billion-dollar grossers, all the live-action remakes. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to keep going down the nostalgic road and keep fucking destroying our life. And where's my fucking, no, sir, I don't like it.
I hear you.
No, it was a weird fucking trailer. Like, people love it. People are like stans of the Disney stuff. So they're all like, you know, hopping on Disney's dick and stuff like that. But I can't get behind this shit, man. It's so bad.
Has there been one? No. Admittedly, I am not. I've always had a bit of a view of Disney. I don't like some of their practices, so I view them in a little bit more of a negative light than some people. I appreciate the good things they've done. Little Mermaid was a good movie. Lion King, the original one, was a good movie. I don't have that emotional connection that a lot of people do to it.
Yeah, which is fine.
I enjoy them, but there are people that fucking love them. But all of the live-action remakes they've done, the official Disney live-action remakes they've done, with the exception of Beauty and the Beast, which I think was the first one or one of the first ones of this new batch of live-action remakes.
I'll tell you, actually, going off that, I'll tell you the one that actually worked was Cinderella, the Kenneth Branagh one, which was like 2014 or something like that. That was actually a pretty decent
the one from
remake.
a while back.
Yeah, but this new batch of shit is just like, it's actually
the Beauty and the Beast one was fine, but it was unnecessary.
No,
I mean, it was unnecessary.
It was fucking awful.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
well, I guess
you have LaFleur. To me personally, you have like LaFleur and fucking Gaston having a gay relationship. It's cool. You want to have gay in your movie, but it's just like, come on.
I forgot all about that, but it was at best it was unnecessary. At best, everything other than or after that one, that one I didn't love it, but I watched it and I was like, I mean, it seemed like pretty much the animated movie that you just made live action. Like, literally, you copied it beat for beat, more or less, except for a couple of things, of course. But, and we're going to talk about that more with the review I'm going to do here in a little bit. And it will be shorter than usual, by the way. But everyone that's come after that has been pretty all around lambasted as not being good. Aladdin, most people said, was not good. The Lion King was not good. What else? There's more than just that. There's been more. What else am I missing? Jungle Book? Was that really part of it?
Oh, Jungle Book wasn't bad.
There were 2 Jungle Books. I mean, I saw the Andy.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the Favreau one was pretty decent.
Yeah, it was all right. That was all right. But I mean, most if not all of these live action remakes, I'd say most of them have not been good, and at best, all of them were unnecessary. Why do they keep making them? Well, I know why. Money. The people keep paying for them. People keep bitching about them, but they keep fucking going to see them. Stop going to see this shit if you don't like it. I don't know. I guess it's they're holding out hope that the next one's going to be the one. No, the next one is The Little Mermaid. I don't think it's going to be the one. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is.
And Avatar 4 has now begun filming, just to let you know.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, there's that. Well, yay! Avatar 4. At least James Cameron, I'm just afraid he's going to die before they get finished. But he's not really that old. I shouldn't worry about that, but he is older. Snow White. You mentioned Snow White. Speaking of live-action remakes, Gal Gadot is in it, I guess. I think she's probably going to... I guarantee she's going to play the Wicked Witch. Or not Wicked Witch, the evil stepmother, or whatever she is.
Yeah.
Didn't we already get The Huntsman? Wasn't that like a live-action... Snow White? I mean, I guess it was more of an adaptation. But I don't know. This goes into the whole thing we were talking about a minute ago. We did not need this. And there's a whole lot more to talk about, so we'll have to move forward from there. But, yeah, Little Mermaid. This is all the stuff from yesterday. Little Mermaid, Mufasa 2, or Lion King 2, or Zero, whatever. Inside Out, Wish, what the fuck, and Snow White. Come on, Disney. Do better. But yeah, I mean, they don't have to do better because all these movies will make bank.
Like $1 billion.
I guarantee you, they will fucking all make bank, so they don't have to do better. Why should they? On the game showcase, real quick, just to touch on that. Like I said, I did not watch it. I know you did. I'd be curious to hear.
I didn't actually.
Oh, you didn't watch it? Okay, never mind. Well, you saw
not.
Some of the stuff about it though, right? You saw some of the trailers or whatever. Or did you not see that? Like
Amy Hennig, who did Uncharted, is she announced and released the trailer for her new game.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be in the vein of Uncharted, the Captain America and Black Panther game set in World War II. How that works, I don't know, but we're getting that. I mean, that could be cool. All they showed was was it a trailer or a poster? It didn't really show much if it was a trailer.
It was like a
CGI.
It was a teaser trailer.
Yeah, it didn't show gameplay or anything. Beyond that, it was mostly like mobile stuff and stuff we've already seen. Everything I heard everybody talking about the show, it just wasn't good. It was just like, why are you showing this? It was like a recap of shit we've already seen except for that. There may have been a very small handful of other things, but like I said, it was a lot of mobile shit. So people were very disappointed in that. I know that they do have in works for our PlayStation fans out there, Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. Didn't show anything about that. So there wasn't really anything at the game showcase. So that was Friday. Let's move into today, right now, in the moment. The big part of the show was of the D23 experience is Marvel. I mean, people are excited about Disney stuff, but really it's Marvel, Star Wars, and I mean, I'm not going to say 20th century, I'm going to say Avatar, but mainly Marvel and Star Wars. People know what's going on with that. You know, two big, huge fan bases. I've not really been able to watch much of any of this, so this is going to be, Nick, you're going to have to lead the way here. So what's been going on today with D23 Marvel and Star Wars?
Lucasfilm announced a lot. They basically showed trailers to a lot of stuff they're already doing, like Andor and, of course, Willow, which I'm really excited for. That's like my jam right there.
I have not watched that trailer yet. Did it look good?
It looks awesome. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, it looks like actually. I compared it to. It looks like Lord of the Rings meets The Green Knight meets Game of Thrones a little bit, like that kind of style of just like mix and mash and stuff. It looked cool. Like I said, I can't wait. Excuse me. They announced, like, you know, they showed trailers for like Secret Invasions, which it looks like another Marvel show.
Was it a teaser or did it actually show some?
No,
stuff
it's a full length trailer. It's like a 2-minute trailer.
Was it you? What were your thoughts on that? I mean,
it looks like a Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They showed off a trailer for Indiana Jones, which, you know, is, you know, something we're not going to see until probably Avatar comes out. I wish they had. That is something I want to see. I want to see what direction are they going with this, but obviously, unless you were there and behind closed doors, you don't get to fucking see it, of course. But whatever. I bet they'll attach that. You're right. I didn't even think that. They'll probably attach that to Avatar. Yeah. They showed off Tales of the Jedi, which is a new animated show that I'm really looking forward to. It has Yaddle. Yaddle's coming into the mix. So if you know Yaddle, you'll love that.
Who the fuck is Yaddle?
Just I'll find a picture while I'm talking. But Yaddle is she looks like Yoda. A little bit like a Yoda.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I think because wasn't she in the Clone Wars or something like that? Or one of those animated shows or something. I don't.
She probably was.
Or maybe she was in something. I know who you're talking about. I'm pretty. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
That's Yaddle. But she looks better in one. She's a female, by the way, so she looks better in the.
Woo.
She looks like she's high. I love it.
Yeah. That, or you're wondering where her other hand is. What in the? Wow. Go on, Yaddle. You do you.
I gotta find my green screen. What else did they announce? They've announced like a lot of shit. Like they announced, of course, a lot of Marvel stuff about, they're bringing back Tim Blake Nelson because they're trying to reconfigure everything. All the Thor: The Dark Worlds and Incredible Hulks and shit, trying to fix that all shit up and make it more palatable.
Yeah, it makes more sense to bring back a lot of stuff from the 2 least liked movies out of the entire 20 or 13-year franchise at this point. Well, sure, why not?
Exactly. Try to make everything more confusing as it is, but they finally showed off the Mando season 3, which looks awesome. Now
that I am excited about. I do think that is one thing that Disney has been doing right. Maybe not so much Boba Fett, but Mandalorian, they've been killing it. Well, with the 2.5 seasons they've had, they've been killing it. So I'm looking forward to the 3rd season of that.
Let me grab this picture. This is the cast of the Thunderbolts.
So that's who. That's
So you got
Black Widow,
Taskmaster. Yeah, Black Widow, which is Florence Pugh. You got Bucky. You got the whatever Captain America
or Secret or Agent America, whatever his name was.
U.S. Agent.
Yeah,
Taskmaster. Fucking what's his face from Stranger Things.
Yeah, what was that next to him? Is that Ghost?
I think that is Ghost. I don't know who the one on the. I don't know if that's the Julie Louis-Dreyfus character on the far left, but
Ghost, I think that is her from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay. Well, I mean that's something. It's kind of like the that's Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah,
sort of, kind of.
But other than that, like. Honestly, they're still announcing shit. Like they're getting ready to film the Born Again, the Daredevil stuff. They showed off the Marvels. Honestly, at this point, the only things I'm really intrigued or interested in are Indiana Jones, Avatar, and this Werewolf by Night, which had like a bomb ass trailer. Which, if you get a chance, guys, I mean, I'll post. I guess I could post a link in the comments. But if you guys get a chance, you should watch this trailer because it's like super fucking cool and.
I haven't seen the trailer yet because while we were going live for the show is when it posted. But the poster looks cool, and the little bit I read about it looked pretty neat. I'd be interested to see that. What is it? Who's that coming from?
Michael Giacchino. It's a Marvel property, but it's Michael Giacchino. It comes out October 7th. But it's
a streaming thing or a theater?
Yeah, it's a Disney Plus thing. It's like a one-off type of thing. So
that's cool. I mean, there's something. That's what I want is some originality. Something. Yeah. Everything else is like, okay, heard this. This is pre-existing.
Well, yeah, pre-existing. I mean, they have like Ant-Man Quantumania. They have that shit, and they're like supposed to have Kang the Conqueror in it. And then they have Short Round, the guy who plays Short Round, and the guy that was in Everything Everywhere All at Once, coming to Loki season 2, and I mean,
I see that
nothing else.
They just announced that Matt Shakman is to direct the Fantastic Four. We fucking already knew that. I mean, we knew that they were talking about it. He wasn't going to turn that shit down because he had already turned. He left the new Star Trek movie to do this. Yeah. So now they're announcing it like, holy shit, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, he directed WandaVision, so I mean, he was like, they're like, hey, we have money, come join us, and
yeah, and I mean, they're talking about the famed director. I mean, he hasn't. I'm not saying he's bad. He hasn't done anything bad, but he hasn't like blown us away as of yet. We don't know if he's a fantastic director or not. He's capable. He's competent.
By the way, during the Avatar preview, they're gonna have a brand new segment of Avatar: The Way of the Water in 3D.
Ooh.
In IMAX. Yeah.
I'd love to. Oh, in the new Avatar, the old Avatar preview.
Yeah, they're gonna do gonna do a sneak. Yeah.
Because that trailer I saw, the Avatar Way of Water trailer, I saw it online, and I was like, okay, it looks cool. It's a teaser. But then when I saw it in theaters in IMAX in 3D, holy fuck, that looked good. I was like, wow, this is what I'm talking about. So it's at least the trailer looks really fucking good in 3D. So get ready for that. Well, all right. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like man. This seems just like this whole D23 is, which I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they really like hyped it up to be like the be all end all, but nothing on here is really jumping out to me to say, holy shit, this is amazing. I mean, what about you? What do you think of today's announcements and yesterday? I guess the whole thing so far, which the big stuff's already out there now. So do you think any of this is really anything besides the Werewolf by Night? Whatever is that what it's called?
It's one of those things where like all the things that people were talking about that would be in this show or not in this show, like what's going to happen in phase 6 and 12 and 96 and 69, you know, it's just like it's all the shit that's coming out next year. Like, cool, you know, I already know about 90% of this shit. I myself
am very disappointed because I was led to believe more would be here, because if you guys are not familiar with another fellow YouTuber and TikToker now more, Jared Buckendahl.
Oh, yes, his
he put
TikTok
out
pissed me off.
Fantastic video.
Yeah,
You guys go check.
I was like,
look up his TikTok, and I think it's on YouTube too. He put out a short saying what was coming today. That Jared, you're probably not watching this, but you know, sir, slow clap. That was amazing. I loved that, and how he was holding. He's holding both.
Oh,
he was holding the end of the thing. You know how people like hold up the whatever they did, the iPods thing right here to their face. He's holding up the other end too. Sir, that was a fantastic video, and but I'm very upset that all these things you announced that you scooped weren't there.
By the way, we got breaking news.
I'm on the
Just Dance 2023 is coming November 22nd. That is all.
What?
Just Dance 2023 edition is coming November 22nd. That is all.
Shit. Hey, all right. We got to end. I have to go pre-order this right now. The fuck out of here. Really?
Ubisoft just ruins their press conferences by putting Just Dance in their fucking segments. Like, I want to see Assassin's Creed. Don't give me Just Dance anymore.
I mean, does Just Dance work without motion controls?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Does it work with motion controls? Anyway, whatever. That's Ubisoft. All right, so D23 Expo. It's technically going on right now, but all the big stuff is out there. Really, kind of, in my opinion, lackluster. That's me. If you're a huge Disney fan and you're really hyped about this, please let us know. I mean, I do not fault anybody for liking what you like, but me, myself, none of the... Oh, I did want to say, like I had said, my wife is a big Disney fan, and when... I showed her the Mufasa thing, and she was like, "What? He died?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's probably a prequel." She was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Oh, watch this trailer." I showed her the Little Mermaid, and I was like, "Hey, watch this." She was like, "What are you gonna show me?" I put it out there, and just watching her face while she was watching it, and she heard the music, and she realized what it was, and then as the trailer went on, just seeing all the hope in her life just be sucked out of her face from this trailer, as she was like, why? She's just like, what the fuck is this? Why? Why are they doing this? I was like, I don't know. Money, that's why. So, but hey, let us know in the comments below if I mean, that's our take on D23 so far, or pretty much all the big stuff. Let us know in the comments below if you did love it, or if you didn't, what you thought about D23, if there was anything here that really, truly did get you excited, and why. Because I really am interested to know, because, hey, we all got different opinions on stuff. And if you disagree with us on this, sure, fine. Let's talk about it in the comments, but let's just keep it respectful. I know how fans of Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars and all that get passionate. Let's just say that. So I appreciate that you find joy in these things. It's just not... I don't. I do, but I don't in the stuff they showed here. Let us know. Alrighty then, let's move into our next. The next few stories we have, which aren't many, are pretty quick and easy. We're gonna do one more story, and then I'm gonna jump into a quick little review that I'm gonna do on the fly here. It won't be long. It's not a walkthrough. It's of a new movie. And it's a Disney movie too. We're going to talk about that. Nick has not seen it, so interested to hear his thoughts on it. or on what I say. But before we do that, let's talk about one thing, and this is I'm happy. It's bittersweet. Let's say that. The Whitest Kids You Know. Do you know The Whitest Kids You Know, Nick?
I do, because I may have seen a movie that they directed. One of them directed.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you have. Yeah, you're right. You have Barbarian,
which I didn't know until today, by the way. So that's new news for me. I didn't know this was a guy.
Barbarian was directed by Zach Kreger, who is one of the members of The Whitest Kids You Know. For those of you that don't know The Whitest Kids You Know, they are a comedy skit act, kind of like in the vein of Kids in the Hall and what was the one with Amy Poehler? She was in it. Oh shit, what was that? I can't remember. They're a comedy act skit. Trailer Park Boys. Well, Trailer Park Boys is more of a show.
Yeah, they're in the same vein as those, I think.
Yeah. Well, they were. I won't say really big. I've really enjoyed their stuff. I strongly suggest going and checking them out. Their Abraham Lincoln skit and the Graper
Yes, I have seen that. Oh,
amazing.
One of the funniest things I've seen in quite a while.
The Abraham Lincoln skit is just chef's kiss. The Graper is pretty great. Pretty much all their stuff is, but those two especially. But check those out. But they have a movie apparently that is in the works. Now, those of you that don't know, that are aware of The Whitest Kids You Know, unfortunately, Trevor Moore, who was kind of the main guy. I don't know if he's the main guy, but he was kind of seen as the kind of the head of the group, if you will, to a degree. He tragically passed away in 2021 due to an accident. He fell off of a balcony.
Oh shit!
Why? It was deemed an accident. He fell off of a 2-story balcony and blunt trauma. He hit the ground, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. So. On his press tour, Zach Kreger, who just released Barbarian, which is, my understanding, not a funny movie, but he just released...
It's actually somewhat funny, believe it or not. It has some funny moments.
Oh, okay. Well, I've not seen it yet. Nick has. I am looking forward to seeing it. I've been wanting to see that since I saw the trailer a few months ago, but he was doing the press rounds, and someone asked him about, The Whitest Kids You Know, and what are you guys doing and all this. And he says... Well, they apparently have an animated movie that is coming soon called Mars. It was in production before Trevor Moore's death in 2021. And he said in the interview, "We had written a movie called Mars, and the plan was always for it to be an animated feature," Kreger said. "Before Trevor died, we recorded all of his dialogue, and we crowdfunded the budget for this movie. It's like $300,000, a little more. And we're currently making it. I think we're going to wrap it up in about a month or so, and I think it's great. Without Trevor, as far as like what they're going to do beyond that, though, he says, without Trevor, there is no Whitest Kids You Know." He continued, "So this will be our final thing, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm really happy to put it out there." Prior to his death, Trevor Moore said of the film, "It's about a couple of billionaires' race to put a city on Mars. That's the kind of line that we like to hit." Where it's like, all right, we're not talking about Elon Musk, and we're not talking about Richard Branson, we're not talking about Jeff Bezos or any of those guys, but we're going to talk about this. What's happening in society right now is like all these rich guys are about to start colonizing the moon because we think that's still going to be an issue in 20 years from now. It's not going to age itself out too quickly. So more or less, this is kind of the Whitest Kids You Know's last ride, if you will. And they are going to have a movie, and Trevor Moore, like they said, has already recorded his line, so he will be a part of it. But if you're a Whitest Kids You Know fan, just know that this is going to be the last thing. We're not going to get anything else from them altogether. I mean, I'm assuming, obviously, they're going to go on and do their own things now. But I do think it's bittersweet that they're a comedy troupe I really enjoyed. But, instead of replacing him, just moving on and saying, okay, that chapter of our life is done. I appreciate that. I'm cool with that. And it is cool that they get to go out on with this film that Moore had already, done all his stuff. So they get to put something out with him for that one last ride for this troupe that's been around for at least 2010s, early 2010s, I think. I don't remember exactly when they got started, but they've been around for a while. at least a decade or more. So it's good that they're going to get to go out on some type of like, a bang, if you will, assuming the movie's good. What about you, Nick? What do you think of this? Like, I know I probably have a bit more of a connection to the Whitest Kids You Know because I've been watching them for years and years and years. But what do you think of this? Does this movie sound good? What do you think about them disbanding? Yada, yada.
I mean, yeah, in the limited time I've ever spent watching their videos, yeah, I mean, sure, bring it on. I'm always up for. The thing about, you look at like, this group, or you look at like Broken Lizard, or, Monty Python to an extent, or, they put out better films, but you look at all these, like,
think of earlier.
Yeah. Trailer Park Boys, all these groups that come in. There was one that had Donald Glover in it. He was in he was in some kind of comedy troupe or whatever. When they release things, usually they're for the fans. Usually they're meant for, people that are very much into these groups or, troops or whatever. But you know what? If it's original, if it's funny, if it's fun, whatever it is, I'll watch it because they honestly earned their place to make whatever they want. And unfortunately, this is their last thing. But, this will probably be pretty popular. If it ends up being cult, it is what it is. But I think it sounds like a fun premise, to be fairly honest.
Yeah. And their brand of comedy, I think it'll be. I've never seen them do animated stuff, but I mean, it's their brand of comedy still. So I am looking forward to that. And while it's unfortunate that more died, I think it's it's good. It's a bittersweet ending to it all. At least they get to have that goodbye. They get to say that the ship gets to sail in somewhat of a positive way, because that is unfortunate. He died at such a young age, and it's such a way too. It sucks, but hey. Whitest Kids You Know fans out there, you're going to get a little bit more of it coming real soon. He said that they're going to wrap in about a month from this. Okay. So we should see this movie at some point within, I would think, in the next year. It's animated. When he says wrap, I assume on an animated film, I guess that means finish animating it. So everything's recorded already, all the lines. So we're going to get a little bit more of it. Are you a Whitest Kids You Know fan? Are you happy and or sad to hear this news? Let us know in the comments below what you think. And if you haven't seen the Whitest Kids You Know, please, Jesus Christ, just go to YouTube right here where you are right now. Type in Whitest Kids You Know and look up just any of their skits are great. But like I said, the Graper, and the Abraham Lincoln, how Abraham Lincoln actually died. That they are, man. That is like top tier comedy right there. That is the best shit. You will laugh your ever living ass off if you have a sense of humor. Or you might be offended. Who knows? All right. So let's jump on in to a review I'm going to do real quick. Now, this is a review of a movie that Nick has not seen.
I lied. I've seen like 2 minutes of this movie.
Oh,
I turned it off. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So I've seen some.
He can comment on the 2 minutes of it, but I'll tell him. I'm gonna say you have seen it and you haven't. Have you seen the original?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so this will feel very familiar to you with some tweaks. I'm talking about Pinocchio, the new 2022 live action Pinocchio. We were talking about live action Disney movies a little while ago and whether they should or should not do them. Well, they shouldn't have done this one. Let's just put that out there right now. I'm not the first one to say this. This is not getting great reviews across the board, but I'm just going to give my few little thoughts of the Pinocchio movie real quick. Okay, so if you've seen the original 1940, I think, Pinocchio, you know the story. This is a live-action remake of that, and it is in the same vein as the other Disney live-action remakes in the way that they pretty much took the old movie and just made it live-action, but they lost something in the process. It's like they added all these little things, like in the background or in the just little itty-bitty things here or there, and they changed a few things. But while doing that, it actually takes away from the whole thing. They added some things that just didn't need to be added. I mean, it was like there were moments I was like, why is this happening? I mean, I've seen that movie, but it's been quite a while back since I saw it. But I was watching it with my wife and my youngest daughter, who was 2. The 2-year-old gave no shits. about this movie. She was just like, would she pay attention for a few minutes and then just like, I don't care. My wife was bored out of her mind and like, why are we watching this? They literally watched the original the other day, not knowing that I was going to want to watch. Well, I was going to say, let's watch this. And I kept asking her, I was like, because I knew they watched it the other day, and I was like, is this in the original? And she was like, no, this is not. But it's not like the moment, the story beats are the same, but they just added all this dumb shit in it. Like, there's a moment where Pinocchio stops in the street as he's going to school, you know, on his way to school before the fox and the whatever get a hold of him and he goes on his adventure. And he literally stops in the middle of the street and ducks down to look at a giant pile of horse shit. Just on screen, a giant pile of horse shit for a couple of minutes and sniff it and look at it and be, And as I'm watching this scene of Pinocchio looking at this giant pile of horse shit, I thought, I don't recall him looking at a giant pile of horse shit for a few minutes, but this scene is kind of indicative of my viewing experience and how I felt. I felt like I was sitting there for a few hours watching a giant pile of horse shit. Because that's what the fuck this movie was. A giant pile of horse shit.
Oh,
why
would
did
you
they
watch?
do
Would
this?
you rather watch? Well, I'm going to ask you after the. Would you rather watch this or Thor: The Dark World again?
Thor: The Dark World again.
Oh shit!
This was awful. Or you mean The Dark World or
I'm sorry,
Love
Thor:
and Thunder?
Love and Thunder.
Probably that, honestly. I mean, that wasn't good either. I did not like that movie, but it was admittedly more entertaining than this. This movie was boring as fuck. Like it's only about an hour and 40 minutes long, and I'm not sure how long the original movie is, but they're probably close in length, and there are a lot of things that are more or less beat for beat the same, but it just felt like it was 3 fucking hours long. It was so bad, and it wasn't just me. The other 2 people watching it, one of which was part of its prime demographic, could not give a shit about it, and the other person that loves, you know, Disney movies and this movie, Pinocchio in general, couldn't stand it either, and didn't even finish. My wife didn't even finish it. We got like, there was 20 minutes left. She's like, I can't do this anymore. And she's left. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna finish it because I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow. But there's not like one. Well, there is one big thing they changed, but there's not like one in particular thing they changed. Like I said, it's just a bunch of little things, like the horse shit in the street. Just stop to look at horse shit. Why? I don't know. But it's not even that. Even the parts, like the beginning, the first like 10 minutes of the movie, which seems like it's 30 minutes long, is just devoid of any type of emotion, joy, anything. Like the whole thing about explaining Geppetto.
You sure this isn't a Pink Flamingos prequel? Just staring at shit.
Would you think? If he ate it, it would have been that. But like the whole part where Geppetto's sitting in his shop and he's creating Pinocchio, and he like, we figure out about his son and that he lost and et cetera, and that's why Pinocchio was created and all that. It's just so dour and down and boring as fuck. The first one had its darker moments too. The original one, rather. But this one is just boring, man. I mean, like, really, that first 10 minutes literally felt like a solid 20 minutes. I was like, oh my God, this is... We were watching it because I was like, I'm going to give this movie the benefit of the doubt. I've been hearing bad things about it. But, you know, people say bad things about movies all the time. Then I watch them and I'm like, hey, it wasn't that bad. No, this is that bad. I was watching it and I was just like, I am trying here, movie. I am fucking trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Holy shit, it's just bad. And it, like... They changed the end of the movie, by the way. Totally, I mean, the end of the movie, I'm going to put it out there. I don't feel like it is a spoiler, but it's of a fucking Pinocchio movie. Come on. He doesn't become a real boy in the end of the movie. He stays a wooden boy. That was, like, he does all the stuff. I mean, the way they get away from the whale is kind of stupid in this one. It's the same, but once again, they added a little bit to it, and he becomes a fucking speedboat, and he gets in the water and, like, starts doing his legs real fast, and he becomes, like, a fucking rotor. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. When they take off and they get away, and Yeah, yeah. What the fuck? And like they get to
no. You're trolling me, right?
No,
you're literally trolling me right now. They took the sole purpose of this fucking movie,
yeah,
and took it out so they can make him a fucking speedboat. Is this the fucking Incredibles? What the fuck is wrong with Disney? Good fucking God, Disney, you're here.
Yes, that's it. He more than once in the movie he becomes like a speedboat.
Sorry, guys.
He also
I think I blew out people's eardrums. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
What the fuck?
No, he jumps in the water because the whale sneezes him out, and that's what happens in the original. And they go back to shore, and the end of the movie, Blue Fairy shows up. Oh, you're a good boy, and he becomes a real boy. This one, no, the whale's by the way is the whale's Cthulhu. This whale, for no apparent reason, has tentacles, like shooting off of it and everything. It's like, I was even watching it, I was like, did the whale in the original have tentacles? My wife was like, no.
The whale has tentacles?
Yes, the whale is like a
what the fuck?
H.P. Lovecraft whale. I don't know why.
Oh my fucking God. Okay, first of all, I have to say this. I think you said you had a video for this, or maybe this is your video. This is directed by Robert fucking Zemeckis. The guy created or directed all kinds of great films that I can't think of right now because I'm going red in my mind. This is some fucking animated shit that he pulled. Oh my God. What the fuck are they thinking? I swear this feels like a prank. Where's Ashton Kutcher at? God damn it.
It is.
Oh my God.
When it sneezes him out, Pinocchio jumps in the half a boat because it breaks in half. And he grabs it, and Geppetto and the fish and the cat, because they're all there too, they're like, oh no, the big whale's coming after us again. He grabs the back of it, and he did this in another part of the movie too. He starts spinning his legs real fast, and it sounds like a jet, but he goes, ring, and they take off like shooting across the water as... as the big Cthulhu whale starts coming after him. And he kicks it into overdrive at one point, and he's like... And it's like speedboat noisy, because he's on the back of it, and his feet are going real fast, and he goes, winning, like takes off. They get to shore, the whale gets knocked out, because it just runs into the fucking mountain. And they get there, and this is the part, you're expecting, I guess they subverted expectations, if you will, that, Geppetto, he thinks he's dead, and I can't remember, one of them they thought was dead in the original, and then, they come back. I thought it was Pinocchio, but anyway... Geppetto's knocked out or dead or whatever, and Pinocchio cries on him and wishes upon a star. Geppetto comes back, and you're like, okay, here comes the Blue Fairy. Nope, she don't show back up. She's in the beginning of the movie. She doesn't. He's like, I love you for who you are, and that's what they changed. That's why it's not. He doesn't need to become a real boy, even though that was in this one too. That's his whole mission. Go do all this to become. He doesn't need to become a real boy. He is good enough the way he is.
Wasn't there a Pauly Shore Pinocchio? Can we talk about that? That's gotta be a lot better
or the like Turkish Pinocchio. Yeah.
Dad, I'm a real boy.
Yeah. But no, and it ends with them walking off, and he's still a wooden boy. So Pinocchio just gets the shaft, and you see earlier in the movie, he just like gets nobody. He can't even go to school. They kick him out of school because he's not a real boy, and all this. So he's just gonna have a shit life, like a really tough time. So no, he doesn't become.
This is as bad as when Aerosmith came into fucking Polar Express and started singing. It's like, what the fuck. I love you, Robert Zemeckis, but what are you thinking, man?
I don't know, man. His animated ones are there. He did Monster House, didn't he?
No, that was Gil Kenan. No, he did Beowulf, The Christmas Story.
Yeah. The Polar Express.
Polar Express. Yeah. And the other thing I heard about this, you can talk on this. How is a movie like Avatar, which came out in 2009, have soul behind the eyes? And then I hear this movie has like, the dead eye thing where like you remember watching like old video games or animated movies where like there's like no soul behind it. It's all like lifeless dolls.
Uncanny Valley. Yep.
Yeah. Does that have this too?
Oddly enough, well, I mean, Pinocchio is wooden, so his eyes are painted. Some of the other characters, I don't, yes, but I think even the living characters, like Tom Hanks, are so dead inside while making this movie. They have the Uncanny Valley, and he's real. Nice. He's not CG. It's a real Tom Hanks. It's other people are real in this thing. But that's something else about it. The effects. The effects in the beginning of the movie, I was like, okay, you know what? This movie's boring so far, or it's taking a long time. The effects were pretty. I was like, they're decent. They're pretty good.
Jiminy Cricket looked pretty decent.
Well,
at least in the beginning he did.
And I know movies are not made in chronological order, but I feel like the effects were, and they ran out of money because at first the effects I was like, okay, these are pretty good. They're solid effects at least. I mean, some of them are somewhat cartoony, but it goes with like the fish that they're rubbing the belly of the fish and stuff. Okay. I'm cool with it. The effects worked. But then as the movie went on, they started working less and less. And then by the time you get to the end, they were just bad. The whole thing where Geppetto's in the boat, you can tell the boat and Tom Hanks are real. Everything else is fake, and it looks fucking terrible. All the effects as the movie went on just got worse. And by the time you got to the end, they were just like really bad. I was like, I'm trying not to pick on this movie. I'm really trying with this movie, and it just kept getting worse and worse. It's like the movie was trolling me. And the fox, from the movie, walking around in like human clothes and all that, it worked. Things like that worked in the animated movie.
Are they not able to train a real cat, by the way? That cat Figaro looked terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It was so bad.
There's another one that's kind of cartoonish, and
yeah.
He also, as the movie went on, got worse. But the fox character who gets, I can't remember his name, but he gets Pinocchio, him and I think is a cat, his sidekick. In the cartoon worked because it was a cartoon. And I don't know, yeah, it's the same exact story, well, more or less. The cartoon version worked because it was a cartoon. In real, when you have a live action thing, everybody else in this world is a real human being. But then you have this random fox, CGI fox, in human being clothing, bipedal, walking around. It's like, this stands out. And nobody acknowledges it. It doesn't work here. It just doesn't. It really stands out in a bad way. The effect itself was fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it just did not fit. It stood out really bad. Because some things work in animated, don't work in live action. This movie is a prime example of that. It's just, the effects overall started good, but then just went downhill bad. They like deteriorated as time went on. Even though I know they're not made linear like that, it seems like it. They ran out of money or something. Yeah, this movie sucked. It just sucked.
Well, I don't know if you follow Letterboxd on Twitter. There's this like a Letterboxd account, which is really funny. Posts all like the crazy, raunchy, whatever Letterboxd reviews. I forgot about this one. I think I sent this to you guys, but somebody named Winsy posted up Pinocchio 2022, gave it 1.5 stars, and wrote the second film of the year where Tom Hanks plays a European caracature alongside an exploited puppet. And of course, the other movie.
Yeah,
is Elvis.
You sent me that. True, that is true. And Tom Hanks, Tom Hanks is bad in this? How is Tom Hanks bad? Tom Hanks is a fantastic actor. He's not good, but neither is anybody else. No, the performances overall are all either dull, which Tom Hanks is dull. They're either dull or just bad. There's some of them that are just kind of like so over the top they're bad. And I'm like, nothing here worked. The movie just did not work at all. It was terrible, like shockingly bad. You could talk about the other live action Disney movies like we were earlier, especially these ones coming out. Some of them, like Beauty and the Beast, I know you disliked it, but the movie at least worked on some level. This just does not work. It's just bad.
It's directed by Robert Zemeckis, guys.
It feels like Tom Hanks was acting literally on a green screen with absolutely nothing. Even in the parts where he's in a real live set, I just feel like he was on a green screen with nobody else, and they weren't giving him any direction. He was wearing his costume. That was it. He had nothing else to interact with because he is just just not there. He's dull. He's just he's reading lines and he has nothing to act off of. It's just so bad. Damn, Disney, stop with the live action remakes. Just stop, because this is fucking terrible. Oh my god, it's awful. But I mean, on my rating scale, and I can't see who this is for, by the way. I cannot see who lovers of the original. You're not gonna like this. I mean, I had 2 lovers of the original, one longtime lover of the original with me watching it, didn't even finish it. People like myself who are just kind of like in the middle, like, yeah, original's fine. I enjoy it. It is what it is. Not for me. People that aren't interested or don't know anything about it, this is not a good gateway into it. Jesus Christ, it's bad. But on my scale, I was going to say that it was like, you know, my second lowest rating. Check it out on USA Up All Night. But honestly, it's so fucking boring, and some of the shit is just so shocking. Just like, why? But there's no reason for you to do this. That it really, to me, is just, it's a fucking dumpster fire. It's so bad. I didn't want it to be. I really wanted this movie to be good, or I wanted it to be okay. I was hoping to come on and be like, people are giving this movie a hard time. But it's not. They're not giving it a hard time. They're being honest. This is not good. Not good at all. But, I mean, you're more of a fan of Pinocchio, and you kind of made more or less your, just based on what I've said here, you've kind of already said, but what do you think, Nick? Are you looking forward to seeing the rest of this? And what little bit you did see, what'd you think?
No. I knew it was going to be bad. Honestly, when I saw that trailer, I knew it was going to be bad either way. I just, Robert Zemeckis did The Witches last year, and it was awful, and I don't know. This is the problem we talked about earlier with the whole fucking live action remakes of shit. It's
just go back and watch the original.
I really don't have much to say. Yeah, go back and watch the original. It's terrifying to watch, like Dumbo, but it's at least it's attempting to be somewhat of a decent film. So,
yeah, this is not. This is. Oh man, and the change. I don't understand the changes. I mean, if it was just
an hour and 50 minutes, isn't it?
Hour 40, 45, somewhere in there.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, and if they just transposed the original to live action, like beat for beat, kind of like they did with Beauty and the Beast, which they do to a degree, but they just keep adding. They had to go in there and fuck with shit and keep adding all these changes in. I would have probably said this was unnecessary at best, and you know, maybe a little boring, but no, all the shit they did, and in the process of doing all this shit, they just sucked out every bit of magic that it ever had. This was just terrible. So that's my take on Pinocchio 2022. Please, I mean, let me know in the comments below if you disagree. I mean, my understanding is that a lot of people are kind of on the same track here. Do you think I'm being too harsh? Did you look at this and say, oh yeah, this looks like, you know, or have you seen it? It's out. It's available now. Has anybody out there seen it and really enjoyed it? Please, tell me why. Tell me where you think I'm wrong, because I mean, everybody's, you know, can have their own opinion. That's great, but I just don't see anybody that this would be for. It sucked. It just sucked. So Pinocchio 2022, no. Can't do it. All right, let's did I hurt your soul a bit?
Yes, a little bit actually. I don't know if you care or not, if the audience cares. Real quick, they announced 3 new open world RPG Assassin's Creed games. One's a mobile. I don't know if the other 2, but they're set in like feudal Japan, codename Red, and codename Hex, and codename Jade.
Oh, they actually did announce the Japan one, feudal Japan one. They've been talking about that for years.
Well, I don't know if it's a mobile game. It doesn't specify what it is, but Mirage is coming out next year, 2023. So
that one's in the Middle East, right?
Pakistan, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they've been talking about one set in feudal Japan for a long time. People have been clamoring for that.
Yeah.
They also had those side games. They may have been mobile. I know they were released on consoles too. It was like they were more like, I want to say side scrollers, kind of, sort of. They weren't your traditional Assassin's Creed games. I think they were not they were mobile, but they were like DS and PSP or Vita or something like that. They were that when I say mobile, I don't mean like phone mobile. They were like that kind of mobile, so handheld devices. Well, hey, there you go. Assassin's Creed fans getting some more. I know, shocker, you're getting more Assassin's Creed this year. I'm shocked. Holy shit. All right, let's jump into our last couple of shows or stories for the day.
Last couple of shows.
These are some smaller things, but one of which I think I'm curious to get your take on. But before we get there, let's talk about Netflix. Netflix says stop all the binging. Stop all the downloading. So what the hell am I talking about? As we all know, Netflix created the whole binge, show binging thing. Well, they didn't create that, but they facilitated it, if you will, by releasing their shows over the past few years as just all at once. We became accustomed to, over the years and years of TV, of shows coming out every week. Netflix said, fuck all that. We're releasing them all at once. Binge the hell out of it. And it was a popular thing. Binging became a popular term, and people would do it. Stranger Things, Ozark, all their shows, everything comes out at once. I think Stranger Things broke the mold just slightly because they released the last 2 episodes of last season a few weeks later. But I heard that was because they weren't finished. But maybe there was a little bit of a attack there to drum up some hype for them. Well, it is suggested that Netflix wants to move away from the binge model releases in some form. Netflix currently uses weekly episode drops for some reality competition shows, but there might soon be a time when it becomes used for Netflix's biggest originals as a means of keeping viewers engaged over a longer period of time. According to a report, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings has seemed unwilling to pivot off the binge model because he hasn't needed or wanted to. Now it appears he does. Netflix already confirmed that Stranger Things Season 5 will keep its binge release model. So before I get into my thoughts on this, Nick, what do you think of this? Why do you think this is happening? And do you think this is a good idea, bad idea? What do you think of this?
Excuse me. I don't have a problem with this for the simple fact of if you look at Netflix's shows, think about how we binge it. But like a week later, do you remember half the shit you watched on Netflix for that simple fact that you binged it? Like, yeah, we can talk about Stranger Things the week that it premieres, and they did do a kind of a split thing. But it's like we're not talking about Stranger Things anymore right now because we watched it all. We're still talking about She-Hulk. We're still talking about Mandalorian because they do it every week. We're still talking about whatever show that's on Amazon Prime, like The Boys and stuff like that, because it shows every week. But Netflix is doing this because they know that they can garner more subscriptions because people will, delete their account once they finish Stranger Things or once they finish Irishman or whatever they watch, and it's just like they know what's up, and plus they're bleeding money anyway. So,
I agree. I think unfortunately, all right, I like the binge thing. I don't like to wait. I'm an impatient person. When something comes out, I think you've even said to me before, hey, have you seen this show? And I'm like, I'll probably watch it once all the episodes are out. Because I don't like waiting week to week. But I do recognize how that can help with viewership and things like that and drumming up people talking about the show or the movie or whatever. Now, I like the binge thing because Stranger Things premieres, I can go and I can just watch them back to back to back. On the flip side of that, I can admit, you're right, that not only, you watch it and then, people aren't really talking about it anymore. But also, I can say that when watching a show like that, something that's really long, especially this past season, that had extremely long episodes, it gets to a point to where you watch so much of it at once that it all bleeds together. And it's just like you start missing some of it because you kind of tune out at some point. If it's not like extremely engaging, when you have those down moments, you just kind of tune out. And I do think that when you're doing a more spread out release, you don't tune that stuff out as much because you're not just kind of like, I've seen 5 hours of this already and I have 2 hours to go or something.
Right.
You take in everything you're seeing. You pay attention more. So I'm kind of like, it's a double-edged sword for me because I like that model, but then on the flip side of that, I see that releasing it every week for 8 weeks as opposed to in one day keeps people interested, keeps people talking about your show, your property, and things like that. Keeps it at the forefront of people's minds for longer. Because the honest truth is, all of Netflix's hell, all of most streaming content platform shows are not Stranger Things. Stranger Things is that anomaly, but that is really big. It's a huge thing that when it comes out, people are going to talk about it. But I mean, people aren't going to talk about Ozark, past when it comes out. They would. I mean, it may be a good show. I actually haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it. But people aren't going to continue to talk about that. They're not going to continue to talk about Sandman beyond, a week or two after it comes out, because they've seen it and they moved on. It may be good, but they've said what they have to say. And I hate to say it, because everybody was talking about for the longest time that, Netflix came along and changed the game, and we changed the whole thing that had been done for literally decades up to that point of the weekly release schedule. And now we've gone to this new thing that everybody liked more. And now it's weird that we went there for the better part of a decade, and now we're transitioning back to where it all started, to weekly releases. And I find that kind of ironic, but I get it. I think that they should do it if they want to remain, because that is one of the things I liked about Netflix also, is they were one of the ones that still did that. But in order for them to remain in competition, I think they have to drum up that all that talk about their properties as they come out. So I'm on board. I mean, I am begrudgingly on board with this, even though I like to binge things. Like when we were talking about Mandalorian earlier, when it comes out, will I watch it as it comes out? Maybe, because I really like that show. But man, I'm really going to wish I could just watch them back to back to back, because I don't want to sit there and wait a week each time. So, but hey, that's me. I also, like I said, I get the reason that they're going to do this. But what do you guys think out there? Netflix changing over to a weekly thing. And I guess another question, do you think that I think that this is a direction that this is going to happen. Do you think that this is going to happen to all their shows? I mean, they've already announced the Stranger Things thing. Season 5 is going to be the binge model. Do you think that they're just going to transition over to everything, or do you think that they'll do some things? What do you think, Nick?
I mean, they'll probably see how it does. If it works, they'll transition everything over. But it's more of just like they're going to see what their margins are when it comes to like viewership and stuff like that. So
sure.
Yeah, I think that give them some time. I'm sure they will.
Do you think that something like what was that movie? Is really Cowboy Bebop? That was a show. That wasn't a movie. That was a show, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that something like that would have fared better had it been spread out? Oh, I didn't see it.
No, it wasn't good. Like,
okay.
It doesn't.
That's
like, it all depends on. If the show's good, they'll gain viewership. But that show wasn't good. It looked cheap and terrible. So.
Okay, that's why it failed.
Yeah.
I'd heard some people say good things about it, so I was like, maybe maybe this would have helped that, but no, it just sounds like it wasn't good. I didn't watch it. All right, well, Netflix, let us know in the comments below if you're upset about, this whole binge model thing going away, possibly. Do you like the binge model? Do you like the weekly episodes model? Do you see the validity in this? Whatever it may be, just let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are. All right, let's jump on into our next show, our next story. We got 2 more things to talk about before we get out of here. This is the one that I was wanting to get I was really interested to hear what you thought about. Mallrats. You like Mallrats, don't you, Nick?
Oh yeah.
This is classic Kevin Smith. Mallrats, by the way, was the Thor: The Dark World of the View SQ universe for a long time. It was viewed as the lesser of Kevin Smith's movies. I mean, for a while. Yeah, for a while there, people didn't like this movie. I mean, diehards liked it. That's all. You're always going to get that. And I don't think anybody absolutely hated it. But when comparing it to the other VSQ movies, this was the one a lot of people said was not the best one. But over the years, it kind of balanced out, and now a lot of people really like Mallrats. Well, Kevin Smith has already written a sequel to Mallrats, and it is called Twilight of the Mallrats. But the rights remain tied up at Universal. According to Smith, we're hoping to God that Clerks 3 is the Pepto-Bismol, if you will, of that loosens up the Mallrats' bowels via Universal. I know the good folks over at Lionsgate and our producers Liz Destro and Jordan Monesto have been having conversations to try and make that happen. Since the movie is neither fast nor furious, it's not really a movie that Universal pays much attention to, but Clerks 3 might make things a bit easier. I kind of like that Fast and Furious reference there. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
Kevin Smith has been disappointing me a bit here recently, but that's a clever little reference. But so yeah, Kevin Smith is saying he has the script. He wants to make Mallrats 2, but I guess there's some type of rights issue with it. Hopefully, if Clerks 3 is a success, which, if you asked me, based on its quality, it would not be. But some people are liking the movie. Then we may get Mallrats 2. What do you think, man? Are you excited about this? And we also have to take into consideration Kevin Smith's recent works. The Kevin Smith of now, like if he announced tomorrow, if he came to D23 and said Mallrats 2, Twilight of the Mallrats is coming, how would you feel?
I mean, the problem is, I think didn't he get like in serious trouble a little while back? Like, didn't he go to jail or some shit? Jeremy London played the main kid.
Well, he has a twin brother.
T.S. Does he?
Who acts? Looks exactly like him.
Jeremy alleged that he was involved in a bizarre kidnapping approached by a group of men in Sala. Blah, blah, blah. Though he swore the incident was real, his mother and brother made public statements doubting him. Apparently, he was on drugs. A lot of drugs. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, his twin brother has been in movies as well, and looks exactly like him. I mean, he is the epitome of a twin, so he could take up the role. Or maybe he wouldn't be in it.
Yeah, I mean, my feelings on Clerks 3 have been very, very well known for my review. I don't know. I mean, Twilight of the Mallrats could be cool just for the simple fact of like how malls are like on the outside of a few major outlets. So you could do it like in a
strip mall rats.
Yeah, that'd be funny. As long as they bring back like the core cast, they bring back Jason Lee and Shannon Doherty, and what didn't Ben Affleck go to jail in that movie? Was that because he had sex with a minor or something like that? It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but
yeah, I know it's something like that. I know that part of what this interview, which I didn't talk about, the other half of it was talking about him and Ben Affleck coming back together and reforming their friendship. So Ben Affleck also said that he is on board. He wants to do this movie as well. So there is some interest, at least from the people involved in the movie, to do it. But Ben Affleck also was part of Clerks 3, so whatever.
Yeah. Which is in the trailer. Yeah, it's not spoiling anything. It's in the trailer. So
yeah.
By the way, Clerks 3 has a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 69.
Oh
69%. Oh yeah.
Which is
he says 69.
I agree with that.
But yeah, Mallrats is a classic cult movie. I love it. I don't love it as much as like Chasing Amy or Clerks, but it's an entertaining movie that has definitely deserved to be in that pantheon of like great Kevin Smith films. Fly, fat ass fly, that type of thing, or here's a chocolate covered pretzel, or other things that the dating game. It's good, fun movie. So if they did a sequel, if it was good, I don't know, we'll see, but I'll watch it. Sure, why not?
Well, yeah, I would too. But on that note, Chasing Amy, which I think is quite possibly Kevin Smith's best movie.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a fantastic film.
I have a soft spot for Clerks just on the simple fact of like how many times it took me to really enjoy that movie. But Chasing Amy is his most personal. That doesn't involve a heart attack. It just involves people.
His most real, personable movie.
Has no shit monsters or tiny German creatures or whatever.
I know
or Tusk.
But he did mention talk between him and Ben Affleck of a Chasing Amy follow-up movie or sequel as well. FYI, just saying. But yeah, me myself, I'm probably a little bit more down on this than Nick because I know Nick and I both kind of our thoughts aligned on Clerks 3. Neither of us really liked it. It was pretty terrible in our opinions.
Yeah.
If you liked it, great for you. But I know that I've been a little bit more down on Kevin Smith's work in the past few years, such as J.M. Silent Bob reboot. I didn't like that movie either. I liked it more than Clerks 3, but I didn't like it. I did like Tusk, though, and Nick didn't. So we're kind of like one for one here.
Yeah.
But I would see the movie if it came out, but I would not hold out a lot of faith that it'd be any good. I would think, oh, here we go again. I'll watch it because I got a channel. But beyond that, don't hold out a lot of faith to be any good. So I honestly, at this point, could not give a shit if this movie gets made or not. If it does, great. I'm sure there's other people out there that would love to see it. And I'll see it if it comes out, but I don't know. But let us know in the comments below if you're looking forward to Twilight of the Mallrats. If you're over there hoping and praying for it to happen. I mean, I'm sure that at some point in time, I couldn't see why Universal would be holding on to the rights of Mallrats of all movies. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's some money there that I'm not familiar with, but I would think that he'd be able to get the rights back if he really wanted it. We'll see. I guess it depends on if Clerks 3 is a success or not. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think of Mallrats 2. Okie doke. Last story of the day. And this is an interesting one. This is entertainment related, not really movie. It could be movie related down the line, but it has movie roots-ish. Let's talk about the Joker. Not the Joker the movie, but the Joker the character. One of the things...
Oh, yeah.
Have you already read that? Do you know the thing?
You go ahead and talk. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you actually sent this to me. I saw
this.
this elsewhere, but you sent this as well. I didn't know if you read it, but...
Yep.
So one of the big things, the Joker's an iconic character, and he is turned up in countless movies and mediums, and he's Batman's arch nemesis, one of the most popular villains around. But one of the things, all kinds of things are known about the Joker and his different iterations, but one of the things that is not known about him is the Joker's real name. I mean, with the exception of maybe Arthur Fleck and Jack Napier, but those aren't, his official names. The Joker's name has always been a bit of a mystery. Well, that is until now. Apparently, we now know what the Joker's real name is. Are you excited, Nick?
Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on.
He just disappeared altogether. What? Oh, what the fuck indeed. Wait till you hear this story. So.
Yeah, I have things to say.
Now, this is the comic book. This is to do with a new comic book that came out. But, the movies, they do like to adapt the comic books to a certain amount. So, in Flashpoint Beyond number 5, which is presumably a new comic book series, official comic book series, Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas, we know that character, is Batman. And he's facing off against his ex-wife and Bruce's mother, Martha. Martha! So Bruce Wayne...
Did you say that name?
Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he's facing off against his ex-wife now. In this different reality, Martha spiraled into darkness because of her son's murder. So apparently, Bruce was murdered instead of them. And she eventually becomes this universe's version of the Joker. Now, you may be saying, oh, so that's kind of a cock tease. The Joker's name is Martha. No, that's not what we're talking about. She is in that universe. This is Psycho Pirate, which I guess is another one of those Calendar Man-esque characters that I'm not familiar with. A psychic supervillain ended up in Flashpoint universe, and Martha got her creepy clown hands on him. She was able to torture him for information about Earth Zero because she wanted to know about a timeline where her son lived and went on to do great things. Now, in this torturing, apparently... in torturing him, she found out not only the stuff about her son, but she found out some side information, mainly who the Joker is. And apparently, he is a failed comedian with a wife and son who worked as a janitor at Wayne Casino, named Jack Oswald White. There it is. The Joker's official name within our or within the main universe is Jack Oswald White. What do you think?
This is some bullshit. No, here's how I look at it. If they're going to reset this at some point, anyways, the Joker's been called many things. His life has been many things. I think some of the best renditions of the Joker, or like for instance in the Harley Quinn animated series, where he just becomes the mayor and decides he's going to have a family life and become a nice guy or whatever. This shit's funny. But the thing about the Joker that makes him so cool is you don't know what the fuck he is or who he is. Yes, there's been like the Killing Joke where the guy turns into the Joker, or the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, which is not really the Joker. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's just cool not to know the Joker's name because it makes it more mysterious. That's why Heath Ledger's Joker was so good, because you didn't know what the fuck you don't know if he was telling the truth. You don't know if he was lying. Nobody knew his name. They just knew he was a guy that was fucking insane, and that's what the Joker is. This isn't like Oswald Cobblepot or, Enigma, Edward Enigma or something like that. This is just a chaos of evil. I don't really want to see his backstory. Like, cool, the Killing Joke was cool, but it's like, if this is what they're going to officially go with, then why?
Because everybody needs answers. That's why.
I guess. I
don't believe that. I think, like you said, Heath Ledger's Joker, one of the great things that character did, and Heath Ledger did with it, was every time he showed up to tell somebody about, let me tell you about my scars. Every time he did that, it was a different fucking story. And like he was so all over the place. And what it ultimately, and you find out in the movie pretty much says this, it does not matter who he is, because who he is chaos.
Yeah.
He is just chaos. It doesn't matter who he was. This is who he is now. And I prefer the mystique of not ever knowing the Joker's name. I feel like this is sacrilege. This is something that should not have ever been put out there. It shouldn't have even been thought of by the creators. They should have just said, no, it should just be totally off the table. His name is nobody, John Doe. I mean, he should not have a name. His name is Joker. So, I mean, I don't get, what do people get from this? In reading that, I mean, the allure of, who is the Joker? What's his name? Of course, people are going to read that. Of course, I click on this on this thing to figure out who it is. But once I read it, who gives a fuck? Do you think I am any better now because I know that the Joker's name is officially Jack Oswald White?
You know what would have been really bad? If they had named him Joe Kerr. That had been his name. That would have been 10 times worse than what they're calling him. Like, it literally,
that
like,
is some
Joe
shit they would have done.
Yeah, that's what,
Joe,
like, that would have,
like Ker. Or like C, I get what you're saying. Oh, that would have been amazing. Amazingly bad. Amazingly bad. But that's some shit that you would expect. That's some wah. This is more just kind of like, all right. This proves it would never be fulfilling, no matter what name you gave it, unless you ended up giving him some type of like connected lineage to someone else. That is the only time it would have meant anything. This means nothing. It's just Jack Oswald White. What the fuck? Who cares? Why did they do this? I don't get it. I just don't get it. But I mean, the whole Martha being the Joker thing, I mean, I got questions about that, but whatever. I could live with that. It's another universe. But going back and I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the allure here. Maybe the comic book is amazing. I haven't read this comic book. I'm reading an article talking about it. But what does this add? This adds nothing. This is fan service, but it's the worst kind because you're giving the fans what they want, but what they really want is you to continue doing what the fuck you've been doing and teasing them and never saying who the Joker is. That's just the truth. But do you think that this is ever going to show up in film form? Or is this the last time we've seen the name Jack Oswald White?
No.
I hope not.
I don't think it is. Yeah.
I hope not. Well, you guys out there in movie land, entertainment land, viewers, let us know. What do you think about the Joker's official name? He has been named Jack Oswald White. Jow. Jaw. Let us know what you think of the Joker's official name. Are you just blown away? Or are you like, what the fuck? I don't care. Let us know in the comments below. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is the show. Told you there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Lots of D23s. Lots of nothing over at D23.
Yeah, it's I was reading as we were talking, and you were talking about Pinocchio, so I was reading some stuff on Twitter.
You weren't people pretty much while I was talking. Yeah.
Oh no, I was clearly listening. I was just trying not to. No, I'm just kidding. No, the things that people were saying was it was a nothing burger. It was really not much. Like, why would they? This is like they're having D23 right after Comic Con. They announced stuff more at Comic Con. It's just. People are not real happy with the D23.
Well, that's the thing is all this stuff. Yeah. Well, not all. A lot of this stuff, especially the announcements, was announced at Comic-Con. We already knew most of it. I mean, there was a couple of trailers that we got, but was it worth this big to do for D23? I don't think so.
There's more excitement coming out of like the Toronto International Film Festival in Venice. Like, for instance, the Weird Al movie is supposed to be really good, by the way.
I heard that.
But there's more.
I'm more excited for the POV vagina shot in Blonde. But I mean,
yeah.
Who wouldn't be?
You better call this video. You better call this that whatever when you cut it out the video, POV vagina shot.
Yes, that's the beginning of one of the little bits. POV vagina shot, everybody. Incoming, literally.
They better do it fucking So I Married an Axe Murderer style.
Well, yeah, but well that
yeah, no, yeah,
not much. Slow week. Shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the places weren't, or a lot of outlets, or not outlets, but people were holding stuff back or not putting anything out because, D23's coming. But then, like, it came and went. Like, nothing happened. Watch, as soon as we go, we'll turn the show off. That's when some big, huge news will hit that'll just, like, be earth-shattering. I doubt it, but it could happen. All right, well, you guys, I appreciate everybody coming by. I know this is a bit of a smaller show today, and a lot of people are watching other streams that are going on with, like, Ubisoft and Disney and whatnot, but I do appreciate, I saw Antonio, Heavenly, James Gibbs was in here. I can't go back any further, but we didn't have a lot of viewers today, and that's fine. I get it. There was a lot of bigger things going on, but hopefully some of you guys will pick this stuff up in the as the next few days go on. I do have some. I have a review. I mentioned this in on Wednesday's show. My cut down review of Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter is coming real soon. That thing is just taking a long time to edit down. We talked a long time. But I'm working on getting that edited down. I'm hoping it'll be out tomorrow. If not, it will definitely be out Monday, maybe Tuesday. But it'll be out when it's done. I'm like ID or id Software, but no, it will definitely be out no later than Tuesday. But yeah, check that out when it comes out. I don't have any. Oh, next Wednesday, we're gonna talk about Clerks 3 in some more detail. Some of our quibs with more spoilery things. I know you're like, Clerks, what's spoilery in Clerks? Not a ton, but there are some key points that we want to talk about, and we're going to talk about that. We can't talk about it as of yet, but we can talk about it by Wednesday. So looking forward to that and whatever else is going on at the beginning of next week. Check out the show, which will be next Wednesday at 2 o'clock Central Time, and whatever time that is where you live. I do plan on doing a stream. I know I didn't do one last week. I have my... If I can get it off here.
Don't get anything off, man.
Get it off. POV vagina shot. My Ultimate Dreamcast here, which I've actually done a little bit more work to since my last stream. I'll go ahead and tell you guys the truth. Is this the one? I think this is the one. Is this? I don't know if this is the one or not. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, the truth of the matter is, remember how I did that? Or those of you that checked out that stream I did where I was soldering and all that. Well, I fucked up the board. I fucked it up. The funny thing is, the part I was most worried about, putting that ribbon cable on that I spent so much time, fine. No problems there. Worked out fine. When I flipped it over the other side and I had to attach 3 fucking wires to this thing that we're supposed to wrap around for power and a reset button, that's where I fucked up. I burned off the pads on 2 of these things, and one of the resistors just disappeared. It is repairable, but I have 4 other Dreamcasts off to the side that I plan on doing this to in order to sell. So I just ripped out the board out of one of them, and I went ahead and restarted the mod. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to do another stream of me doing the same thing because most of it was right on. I'm going to go ahead and do those and then start from there. I have every single one of the mods, as you guys can see here. Here's the, I know it's kind of hard to tell what the hell this is, but here's the thing that does like the digital card and everything goes in. It does work. I tested it out, the fan and all that, but I will show all that stuff in a stream. The next stream will be the last stream of this, but it does actually work. I've tested it. The HDMI port I've not tested yet because I have to put, you know, what I just explained a moment ago, but the digital side of it does work, and it works fantastically. So I will do a stream where I show all of that stuff in the completed model and go through a couple other little things I did, like the fan mod and a couple of other things, the LED mod, which I fucked that up too, by the way. I fucked up the LED. I cut it too short, and now it didn't work. So I had to order another one. But I have all the parts. It won't be a super long one. But yeah, ladies and gents, don't fuck up your PCB boards, which I did. But that's coming soon. That will be probably sometime this week. I don't know when. Just one day in the middle of the day when I have some free time, I'll throw it up there and do that. Nothing particularly big beyond that coming from the channel in the foreseeable future in the next few days that I know of. Who knows what happens last minute. Check me out Twitter. Check out my Patreon if you want to help out there. Subscription, or not subscriptions, what are they called? Memberships are open here on the channel, so feel free to join there. Thank you very much to Antonio Sanders and Terrific for joining my memberships. I hope you guys are enjoying the content that's coming out to you. I know, Antonio, you're a Patreon, so you get all this stuff anyway. So I appreciate you hitting me up on both of those, my friend. And anybody else who wants to do that and help out the channel, go over there and check that out. I will have more stuff coming that way in the foreseeable future. And Nick, tell us what's going on coming soon on the Pleasure Emporium.
Not much, to be fairly honest. It's another slow week. We have a new episode of The Twilight Zone, of course, premiering the 5th Dimension. It's a shorter episode, so I think we were all tired that night, so look out forward to that. But
I remember, I was really tired that night.
Yeah. It's actually a spirited discussion on an episode that you'll see. I can't remember which episode it is now, but you'll see. It'll post on Monday.
49 or 8? 48.
49. Yeah, episode 49.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever it is, I can't remember the name of the episode.
Episode 50 is coming soon.
Yeah. And then your favorite episode.
Oh yeah.
But I have I'm trying to barrel through Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I can't talk about it, but I am trying to barrel through that to the review on it. And then I think Woman King comes out next week, so I'll probably do that. And I may do a Clerks 2 review just to kind of have something next week, just to kind of even out all the other reviews that I've done for Clerks. So other than that, I'm on Movie Emporium and Twitter and Pleasure Emporium and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Check out the Pleasure Emporium for all kinds of pleasurable experiences.
I'm about ready to change the shit to Pleasure Emporium.
Do it. That's what's really missing. You'll blow up after that. But
exactly.
Check out Nick's channel. I do plan on, we are going to do another, it might not be Wednesday, it might be following Tuesday or Saturday, another weird movie review. I plan on being more prepared so it doesn't go quite as long. But another weird off-kilter movie, or maybe not even weird, just another older movie, a Forgotten Awesomeness review in either next show or probably the show after that, like I said. But that's coming soon. I appreciate all you guys staying and checking us out here on the show. Check out the, tell your friends about it and hit the subscribe button and the like buttons and all the buttons. Hit all the buttons except for the dislike button. Well, you can hit that. Engagement's engagement, I guess. But let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. And we will see you guys Wednesday. Bye.